Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We have a new classwork for us to begin this week with. And I can see that I've been assigned the classwork here, starting out in Python 1. And it says basic math. So this is just me trying to view my assignments. I have a rubric here, and I have what looks like a notebook here. I don't know what that is, but I could just double click on it. And it opens in a new page. I'll wait for it to load. So what you have to do is that you have to use the browser where the Gmail we are using for this course is located at. And I can see my notebook has opened. That means I can start interacting with it. And these are the examples given from the notebook with notes that I can read. And I can run the cell, and I'm going to get a warning. The warning, this notebook was not authored by Google. And all I just have to do is to just say run anyway. And here I have an output. And I can also change my output to see what it gives me. Yes, 2 plus 5 is 7. This is addition, this is subtraction. I can change the numbers and play around with it. Read everything I need to read in order to understand what I need to do. And then I have further reading for me to understand how to do basic math operations in Python. I can just click on it, and it opens to a website that I can see other things I can do. If I need to go further, I will highly recommend that you actually go through this. There are several things I haven't touched. The reason I haven't touched many of this is the fact that you rarely use this in everyday operations, but it won't be bad for you to know that they exist. So that if you are going deep in Python and you need a solution like this, you can quickly know where to go and check it out. And then here we have practice exercises. Practice everything you learned above under the headings placed below. Do at least 5 for each. Make up your numbers and run the cells as you were taught. First, you will need to create a cell for you to input the run code. When you hover your mouse cursor underneath the heading, e.g. addition, you will see 2 tabs appear. See image below, this is the image. Click on the tab that says code. This is the tab you click on. I will make a video explaining what you need to do, which is what I'm doing now. So this is just an image. It's not the real space. This is where I'm talking about. This is addition. If you just come beneath it, like here, you see 2 tabs appearing, code and text. So all I need to do is to click on code. And since we're dealing with addition, I just say 3 plus 6 equals to 9. Now, you're expected to do 5 for each heading. So I need to come back here again and click on code, and another cell appears. And I say 4 plus 72 or 73. I've done 2. I need to come back and click on code and do 144 plus 256. I keep on going till I hit 5. The maximum points I'll give you are for 5. You can go 7 if you want. It's just an exercise. Then you do the same thing for subtraction. You come underneath like this. You see a code space appearing, and you type 34 minus 32. All right, just play around with it till you're done with them. There are 5: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and exponents. I can just keep everything and come down to the exponent side and say 232. Shift, enter. Of course, like I said, you could also do You could run the cell by clicking on this. And it's still the same thing. The difference is if you just hit this run button here to run the cell to execute the code, it will not open a fresh cell for you. That is why most of us, because it's faster for us, we just do Shift Enter and you see a new cell has been opened here. So take your time to play around with this. And when you are done with your exercises, you can come back to the Google Classroom. You can come here and click on this button, Add or Create, and go to Google Drive, just like I showed in one of the last videos. And you'll see your most recent work, the most recent file you have, because everything you do in Colab and Docs and Sheets are saved in your drive anyway. The amount of gigabytes assigned to you by Google for free is what you're using. So you just click on this and it attaches. Just insert it and okay, I'm getting a little bit of error here that I have to only attach a file that I own. So we have to back up a bit. When you start out with trying to do this, instead of running from the file that you got, Google will not allow you to share a file that you didn't author. So I'll advise you to come to this file tab here and save a copy in Drive. So you want to save your own copy. So the moment you save your copy, you're going to get this copy of Getting Started with Python. You can leave it as is, or you put a 1 and get rid of the copy of. So that means that this is yours. Google is going to see this as if you authored it. Then of course, you can run the cells and do your exercises. So that means you could either do this before you start doing the exercises. As soon as you open this Google Notebook I've shared with you, just go here to File and save a copy in Drive. You can change the name if you want to what makes more sense to you, or you can leave it the way Google gives to you, copy of Getting Started with Python. And when you come to submit, it says Add or Create, just like we did the last time. You go to Google Drive. Because I ran the 2 cells, I will see 2 of them here. So this is the one that I authored, because if I try to submit this one that is not authored by me as a student, this was authored by the teacher that was shared in the class, Google won't allow me to share it. So maybe due to copyright issues. And now it's submitted, then all I need to do is to hand in. Some other people tried to share the links to their assignments with me, but I couldn't have access to it. I don't know how they share the link. But if you want to share a link of your Colab notebook with somebody, you need to come and click on the share button here. And you have to give them permission to have access. If not, they'll be getting error messages. So this is what you do. You come here and you give permission. That means anyone who link can be either a viewer, a commenter, or an editor. So usually if you're submitting a link like this to somebody who is showing you what to do, you need to allow the person to be an editor so the person can change your codes. But if you just want to share the codes with a friend who just wants to go through what you're doing, you can either share as a commenter or as a viewer. Because if you share with me as a viewer, I can still do a copy on it and also edit it if I make a copy on it. But the difference is if I share as an editor to somebody, if the person edits a file or a code on the notebook, it's going to affect the one I have on my system also. But if he is just a viewer, if he copies it the way I showed you and he makes any changes to it, I won't see it. So there are different ways to do this. Or if it's just a commenter, the person can just go through your file and say, okay, you did well, and just write comments, but he can't change the code. He or she can't change the code, except they make a copy of it on their own system. And if they change the code, you're not going to see it. It's not going to affect the ones you have stored in your Google Drive. So, but for me, you have to store it like this as an editor, share it with me as an editor. When you click on this, then you copy the link. Then you come to the student tab, sorry. Then you come to the student tab. Here again, okay, let me delete the last one I tried to. You come to add or create, then you share a link with me. So you have to give me permission to access the file you're sharing. Then you hand it. If you don't give me permission, I won't be able to access it to see your work, so I can't grade you. I had an issue with a few people who submitted without giving me access, and I just couldn't see it. They just refused to allow me to go through it, to see what the student had done, so I couldn't grade that student. So this is just what I feel you should do. If you have any questions, ask me privately or ask the forum if anybody. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Happy coding, everyone. Ciao.